Code of conduct.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown. I put in extra work that just can't be found. I took the sword out the stone, wasn't a thing. Look me in my eyes cause I'm a king. Look me in my eyes cause I'm a king. God made me punch in accurate numbers. My castle won't crumble. What I tackle will fumble. I've been a leader when they ain't see it, but now my feet up. According to me, royalty didn't end with King Tut. Crown on my head, clouds is at my legs. Big says sky is the limit. I look down on the ledge. I push the bar like I'm opening a cell. Hands in my cookie jar, you won't come out with a single nail. I need all of mine. The weight of my shoulders won't fit on a scale. What's a king to a giant? Well, Goliath fell. Even if we playing chess, dog, this king can't be checked. I make all my moves on the board, I invented my steps. I'm a king, the blood of a ruler. I feel like Mansa Musa. Make your squad disappear like landing by the Bermuda. Triangle, look at it from my angle. I'm a king, the closest thing to being one of God's angels.
I'm a king, the closest thing to being one of God's angels. Talk your talk, Hooli. Talk your talk.
Out the stone wasn't a thing. Look me in my eyes cause I'm a king.
Yeah, man.
Look me in my eyes cause I'm a king.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. This is the Code of Conduct with the King podcast, brought to you by Buffalo Rumblings on the Buffalo Rumblings Vidcast Network, presented by Picasso Pizza. Treat yourself to the most flavorful pizza on game day, Picasso's. We are Buffalo Pizza, shipping local and nationwide. Order online at picassopizza.net. What's going on, everybody? What's up? What's up, Sarah?
What's up? How you all doing? I'm not used to being on the other end on this show, so I'm used to talking shit in the comments. Use my language, but I'm used to talking my crap in the comments. So
you good? Before this, I was listening to Black Album, so I was already like Jay-Z. I was already in a space. Then every time I hear my intro, my man Hooli, he just went in on that. Some of the stuff he say, I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. So I just be in my vibe with it. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Code of Conduct. It's your boy Jay Spence the King, representing that Buffalo Rumblings Vidcast Network, and we got a fun show. My homegirl Gabb, Goudy is in the building. Not yet. She'll be here in a few. We're gonna be talking about this opposite of hell game that y'all about to have. This snow, whatever. We're gonna talk about that. But before we do, Sarah, what's up, man? What happened this past Sunday? You was there.
I was there, unfortunately. I should say fortunately to begin with, because through three quarters, I thought, wow, this is a team we had been waiting to see again over the last couple of weeks, and we were seeing it. And a couple of mistakes, and I think we missed Edmonds a lot in the second half, and unfortunately, we all saw what happened at the end of the third quarter, heading into the fourth quarter. But I mean, to have that lead in the third quarter and to just let it evaporate like that, you could just feel the air getting sucked out of everyone. It was ridiculous.
You know what happened in the third quarter, right?
What do you mean?
You know what we was missing in the third quarter.
That's
right?
what I said. I said we were missing Tremaine.
I know. I just had to do it again. Because that's my dog.
And I think that I was actually on Twitter earlier talking about it. I think that the 81-yard touchdown would have never happened if he was on the field.
Listen, all season. Matter of fact, not just all season. So I've been doing podcasting now. This is my third season, but like second year, because it fell kind of like that. So I'm gonna just tell you, like, for 3 seasons now, people been fronting on me when I've been talking about what Tremaine Edmonds means to this team, and they're like, "Oh, but he doesn't make the splash play, and he doesn't get the interceptions when he's supposed to, and he doesn't get sacks, and he doesn't all of this." Like, they give me the 2-finger on the table action. Like, he doesn't. That's the energy they give me. Yeah. But the thing is, when he's out, then you see how they're throwing all over the middle. You see how their tight ends just kind of do what they want to do. You see how the run game is ridiculous. You don't see, I mean, come on. Like, I'm not going to listen, Tremaine. Yeah. Okay. I just want y'all to respect it. And then on top of it, I bet somebody now wants to re-up my dog 21. I bet somebody now wants to pay Jordan Poyer because when he's not in the game, and I know, okay, he's injured this year. I'm going to tell you what, you look at his career, this is the first year he's had these injuries. I don't want to hear it. My dog Tremaine and my dog Jordan. Okay? Let's be real about this. Let's be real about this. Jordan Poyer, I love Cam Lewis. Everybody knows I love Cam is my dog. When I tell you I love Cam like, you know what I mean? Like I love Cam like family. Cam is a good dude. His fiance is a beautiful, or they're married now, actually but beautiful person. His fam, like great people. He's no Jordan Poyer. DeMar Hamlin, he's no Jordan Poyer. Jaquan Johnson, he's no Jordan Poyer. And what happens is when you're used to all pro level play, because even the year before he made all pro, so before last season, he was playing at that level, and it was just like, why y'all keep overlooking him?
Right. That was the argument 2 years ago, yeah.
So now, where are you at when it comes? I mean, I know where you at, but I got to ask the people, where are you at when it comes to my man Jordan?
No, I've been saying that we should re-up him for forever now. And the same thing with Tremaine. I feel like we need to figure out how to sign him. I would have actually been a little bit more on the side of Tremaine than Oliver. I kind of still am. Oliver had a great game yesterday, but I still am at that position right now that Poyer and Edmonds is more important than Oliver. I feel like we have enough depth at D tackle that we don't really need to overextend ourselves with Oliver. So I think we need to pay Jordan, and we need to figure out how to get Edmonds back.
See, my issue with Oliver is, it's the argument that everybody has every year. Like, if you had to pay one and you don't pay this one and pay with Oliver, I feel like as much as I love Oliver. Like, I really love Oliver. But the thing is, when you really look at when guys are in and when guys are out, the impact they have on the game, to me, that's how I level it. I don't level it by who he could be and the potential that we all see in him and the way we love him on and off the field. I'm looking at literally how the game looks when he's in versus how it looks when he's out. Ed Oliver, he's a talented guy. Like, he's going to be good in this league for a long time. He's going to be good. But when he's out, we still seem to have the same level of play. It's a similar level of play. When Poyer is out, we notice it.
We've noticed, yeah.
This Sunday when Tremaine went out, we've noticed it. So, look, I ain't going to tell y'all what to think, but I'm going to just tell y'all what I think. Get my guys extended.
Yeah.
I don't
the narrative.
Yeah.
The narrative was, we couldn't stop the run, but realistically, they had 25 yards through 3 quarters, middle of 3 quarters. So it was when he went out, and then they ripped off the 81-yard run, and then the 4th quarter we couldn't stop anything. So I honestly think that we missed Tremaine in the second half. So.
I just feel like you preaching is what I feel like. If you saying anything positive about Tremaine, and it's like normally I'm one of the dudes that I don't say anything too positive about PFF, because I feel like a lot of times and I said this before, I think a lot of things that they post is to get certain fan bases, including the Bills fans, to just be angry and kind of get some engagement. I understand that, but today they posted that Tremaine had the highest grade defensively, and it's just like, again, I'm not gonna pat him on the back too much, because again, I feel how I feel about PFF, but everybody who covers defense or everybody who grades defense has Tremaine in the top 3 this weekend for the game that he played. If he would have stayed in, there's nothing that makes me believe that the Vikings would have won. Now, that's not to take nothing away from the Vikings. I feel like the Vikings did. Justin Jefferson, holy crap. Can we talk about Justin? And I know this is a Bills, like this is a Bills show, but Justin Jefferson is unworldly. Like, that dude is amazing.
Well, I think we had the 2 best wide receivers out on that field yesterday, or Sunday. So, it's unfortunate that Jefferson's catch is going to outdo Diggs' catch, but Diggs' catch was just as amazing. And it'll be overlooked now because, Jefferson's catch was equally, if not, a little bit more. But, it all comes down to Cam Lewis not batting that freaking ball down. So it's frustrating there. To really, I rewatched the game today, which I hated to do, but it felt good doing it to kind of see how good we played through 3 quarters. So.
Well, okay. All right. We can talk a little bit more about that later. I want to come back around to the Vikings game. Before I bring my guest in for the evening, I do want to shout out my man, Buffalo Freddy. He's in the comments. Shout out to my man, Dan Freddy. If y'all need any barbecue, if y'all need any parties, I know it's cold right now. We're gonna talk about that cold. It's cold right now. I don't think Gabb is coming to Buffalo no more. If she does, I got nothing but respect and love for Gabb if she makes this trip. But I know it's party time still. Buffalo's a party city. Talk to my man Dan. He has everything you need, from bounce houses to the tents to chairs and tables and just everything that you can need. He got popcorn. Like the man got t-shirt guns. You could shoot the t-shirts into the. Holla at my man Buffalo Freddy. I'll have his number. He said, "Hey, Spence, what's up?" I'll have his number posted up here in a minute. So if you need anything, give my man a call. But ladies and gentlemen, I am bringing in my guest of the evening, along with Sara, Miss Gabb Goudy of the Unsportsmanlike Conduct Pod. What is going on, Gabb?
Hey guys, how are you?
What's up?
I'm good. How you been?
You know, I've just been living it up in Cleveland, Ohio.
I don't know how to take that. Is that a good?
It's a good thing, you know. It's a good thing. We have fun here sometimes.
I love Cleveland. Cleveland was like when I was living in Buffalo, it's like a second home to me. I was out there often. How's your Cavs doing? I'm not too up on the NBA right now.
Well, they were really, really, really high, and now they're kind of like a little injured. So they're taking a step back, but they're still playing well. But it's a long season. We got a lot of games.
Okay. Sarah's a Heat fan. She's
I am.
Yeah.
I'm down south, down in Fort Lauderdale, so been a Heat fan for quite a while now.
Yeah, I like the Heat. I like Tyler Hero.
Yeah.
I like
we
Jimmy
actually
Butler.
we had a great game last night, so I'm excited. We pull one out once in a while. So Butler had a game-winning block, so that was cool.
Yeah, I like Jimmy Butler. I want to try his coffee. I do.
He does. I did see that. He was like when they were in the bubble was when he first started doing like the promotions and stuff for that.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check it. I'm a coffee drinker. I love Sarah. So Sarah's now gotten me on this other Starbucks concoction because I don't even think it's like a normal drink. You have to,
what do you get? What's the order?
It's just with extra sweet cream cold foam on top of it.
Delicious. Yeah, that's good.
Now it's like everything I order. It doesn't matter what I order. I'm getting the cold foam. It's happening.
Cavs Heat play this Sunday.
Yes. Yep.
What a day! What a day for us!
So it'll be Cavs Heat and then we got the Browns.
I'm gonna have to do 2 losses in a day again. I can't keep doing this stuff.
Are you going to Buffalo?
I don't think I can. I don't think I can make it there.
I think you can make it, but I mean, like,
I don't think so.
I mean, if you drive, maybe. Depends if you go around the system, but I'm flying in on Saturday, and that's if my flight doesn't get canceled. So
right, 40 inches of snow?
Yeah, I mean, they're saying anywhere from 12 to 4 feet. So 12 inches to 4 feet. It's like either end of the spectrum.
I'd be driving there, and on Monday I have to be back early.
I saw some stuff that just made me want to puke. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I didn't want to. No, a wise man. I'm telling you, a wise man earlier, like a few years ago, actually was like, my cutoff to go home to watch Bills games is the end of October. I'm the wise man, and when you see this, look at this filth. Look at this disgusting filth. No, Gabb, no.
I'm not going. Okay, I'm not freaking going. I want to.
Did that just say 4 to 6 feet?
Yes.
That just said 4 to 6 feet. No. I don't think my flight's happening, and that means that I will end my consecutive game streak at 30, which would really be sad to have the weather be the reason why I'm not going to a game.
Like, this was the one game out of all the shitty things. Can I say that on here? Sorry.
Yeah.
Out of all the shitty things that have been happening to my football team forever, this is the one thing I was looking forward to going to, and not even for that team, just for the party.
Yeah.
Well, now, I was going to bring that up because obviously everybody here and everybody who listens to or watches the Code of Conduct, they're familiar with you from, I mean, everybody knows Gabb, but they're familiar with you from previously when you were on the show and you went to the Bills-Patriots game in the playoffs when it was like 0 degrees. So other extreme weather,
See,
but
that's
not as
easy,
much.
though. Like, I can do that.
Yeah.
Because I can make it there.
I can't do either one. I'm be honest with you. I can't do it. No, I already told Sarah, I was like, I'm that person. I'm at the room or I'm in the house with the air on. I mean, with the heat on like 90, waiting for that game to be over. It's over with. So you made the trip before with extreme weather.
Yes.
This time you might not go, but I wanted to ask you because like I feel like I've been seeing, and Sarah said the same thing earlier when we were prepping for the show. There's been a lot of people talking about how they feel like the run game. No, I'm saying that wrong. A lot of people are thinking about how they feel like this favors the Bills, even though both teams typically are in cold climates like this. I for one, actually think this favors your team because of the run game. I think you have the more dominating run game, and I just think, especially what we've seen over the last couple of weeks now, I just think that favors the Browns. What's your opinion on that? And then Sarah,
does anything ever favor the Browns? I'm gonna be honest though. Does anything ever favor them? This is like the combo that everyone was having this year. They're like, maybe get a new stadium. You guys are getting a new stadium. We are in the talks of it, and everyone's like, get a dome, get a dome, get a dome. And then the Browns fans are like, well, the weather always helps us. When ever has anything ever helped the Cleveland Browns? I can't recall a time. So yeah. So I don't know. Maybe it will. Maybe the snow will.
What do you think, Sarah? Because I think the run game actually benefits them.
Well, I mean, when you look at Chubb and Hunt, I would think that it would as well. But then after the game that they had on Sunday with watching the Dolphins run all over them, I was actually surprised. I mean, I think the Dolphins almost had 200 yards on Cleveland on Sunday. So if we could figure it out, then I think, the Bills could, I think Josh might have just as many rushing yards as Singletary and Cook. But, if we could figure it out, we could probably be just as effective on the ground. We just, like I said, got to figure it out. I know that the Browns, after the game they had Sunday, they probably are going to try to figure out the run game, but we'll see. I think that we both are used to playing in the snow, so I don't think that it's really effective either way.
I don't know. See, I'm one of those guys that I argue that. So like when fans are like, "Is home field advantage?"
I don't like
First
that
of all,
either.
I hate it because
the players aren't from there.
They're not from there. Most of them don't live there. Like, even though they're there during the season, it's like when the season's out, Isaiah McKenzie's down in Florida with his barbecue thing, and then you got, Josh is in Buffalo, but he's out in California, so it's just like, I feel like most of the team, yeah, they stick around Buffalo for certain things, but they're gone.
Right. And like, they want to be playing in the best conditions possible for them to succeed, and I don't think 5 feet of snow qualifies as best conditions possible. So
Dan Freddy wants me to tell Sarah to get on a plane right now so she can beat the snow. He says he will chauffeur her in a giant truck. But listen, I'm telling you, so I don't see it as like a home field advantage or something that both teams like to play in. The snow game against the Colts a couple years ago when Shady had that runoff touchdown in overtime, after the game, if you go back and watch like the player interviews, like half of them were like, no, this isn't fun. Like, we don't like this stuff. Like, it's the worst type of game to play.
Yeah.
But fans think, oh, no, it's like when you're a kid and you're out back. No, the difference being out back is when you get cold, you can go in and get some hot chocolate. And your mother is like, hey, I got some cookies. That's not what happens. They have to play that whole game.
They've all say they don't enjoy playing in the cold. No one enjoys playing in the cold. It hits. They say that the hits are different. And when you hit the ground, it's different. It's like hitting cement. So I don't think anyone likes to play in it, and I don't like the whole home field advantage stuff too with the weather. I think that the one thing is that we got the fans, but someone joked today about the fact that everyone's gonna be so bundled up, it's not like you're gonna be able to hear us scream. So you got the scarf around your face, and it's not happening.
Well, let's.
And I think the high is 29 degrees, so it's gonna be cold too, cold and snow.
See, 29. That you cussing at me. You cussing.
See, I can do that. I can have cold. I can.
I can't.
I cannot do
Gabb, I was
precipitation.
Gabb, on Sunday, I literally had on 4 layers and 4 layers, like thermals and sweaters, and then a hoodie, and then my jacket, and then I brought another hoodie in. So 4 layers plus my jacket, and I brought another hoodie. It was 33 during the game. And I was miserable. Like, I had 2 pairs of socks on. Like, I had 2 pairs of pants on. I was miserable. And I even had the hand warmer thingies. No, I was miserable.
I made, like, the best investment I've ever made. I got this North Face coat, and I'm not very tall. so it works out well for me. It literally goes to my ankles and zips all the way up.
Oh, that's
awesome.
Like
built-in gloves that you zip on it. Yeah.
You know what I miss, and I'm about to show my age a little bit here. I miss first downs. Like why they can't bring those back? Give me a first down with some, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I need that in my life. If I'm gonna come back to Buffalo for a game, I need a first down bubble coat with the, you know what I mean, with the side pockets. That's what
I need to find. I heard that there is these vests that are heated that don't have batteries in them, because if the security finds the batteries, they'll make you take the batteries out. So unfortunately, it's the stupidest rule I've ever heard when you play in Buffalo. But I heard that there's ones that don't run on batteries and they last for like 12 hours. So I need to find one of those, the heated vests. So I'm gonna start Googling that.
I at a moment said players should be allowed a nip of whiskey at the start of each quarter. I need a half a bottle. As a matter of fact, I need Sarah's whole bar that's behind her. I need that before every quarter. So Gabb, let's get into it though. I know you do your thing with FanDuel, so I want to ask some questions about just, I know they don't have the parlays and stuff up yet, but
I think it's 9.5 points.
9.5. It went up. It went up a point, or it went up. Yeah, it was at 8.5 when it's opened. But
like the real question is anyone even going to score more than a touchdown?
Well, so supposedly games like this is why we drafted Josh Allen, because he supposedly has the type of arm that he can throw through any conditions.
I'm sorry, but I just feel bad for everybody involved.
I do. Now, and I'm not saying that with full sarcasm to the point where I'm saying I don't believe in Josh Allen. I think the guy is amazing. However, I don't think people really understand that players don't enjoy playing in this stuff.
Yeah, they think that they're tough football guys. I'm like, well, everybody wants good conditions for your work environment. So
yeah.
So first, I guess I'll ask off the top. You just talked about the spread there. Do you see it going that way? Do you see the Bills actually covering it, or do you think it's going to be one of those things okay, the Bills will probably win, or whoever wins, but it's going to be close?
I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game at all. So it's probably going to be close, and by that it could be 14-0. Can they even make a field goal?
I was just thinking the same thing.
Can they even kick an extra point? I don't know. Maybe it's going to be
especially with 20 mile per hour winds.
The one game, what was the score of the Browns Bills game? That was
it was 9-6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was in Cleveland, right? So you might get some payback for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys definitely need to get payback for that game.
No, they don't need it this year. They don't need payback this year. I don't want to see that. So, well, let's get into the game then. So, I mean, I just asked about the run game. I asked about that. So, with the weather being what it is, let's start with Sarah, and I'll ask about the Bills side of things. What do the Bills have to do both offensively and defensively to make sure that we don't drop 3 in a row and we actually get back on? Because I feel like in 10 days, I need the team to be 8-3 in 10 days. And right now they have to go through Cleveland to get to 7-3, and then they go for Thanksgiving. What has to happen for that to happen?
Yeah. Offensively, I think it's as simple as establishing the run, or, quick passes, screen passes, quick, easy throws, to get, quick yardage, get the ball out of Josh's hands so that we don't have to worry about Garrett and, the Browns defense. So I think that, that's pretty much it on offense. And on defense, let me also say, Josh Allen, protect the freaking ball. That's the other thing. Protect the freaking ball. And I think we'll be fine on offense. On defense, it's the opposite. It's, establishing that, we're going to control the line of scrimmage, and we're going to make sure that they do not run all over us. And I think that we can show that we could do that. Hopefully we're healthy enough that Milano and Edmonds are both playing, because I think we need both of them to play. And if we can establish that, and we can make sure that they don't, that Hunt and
Nick Chubb.
He's on my fantasy team. To make sure that both of them don't run all over us.
Yeah, she wouldn't trade him to me either. I asked for
I would not.
She wouldn't give him to me. So we'll Gabb on the flip side, because I feel like honest. So this is honest, Spence. This is not me being. So it's not just because you're on the show. I think Jacoby Brissett is a better quarterback than people have given him credit for. I think he's done a better job this season than what people want to give him credit for. And I don't think that he's losing games for you at all. I think there's other mistakes. I think there's other things.
The defense is so bad. The defense is the worst in the league besides the Lions. Like, if you're going to say two people are bad, it's going to be Cleveland and Detroit every single time and every single joke. And I guess it worked out here too. So. Right.
So with that being the case, the Bills have had some injuries on defense. I still don't think, I don't know if we're going to get Jordan back. I don't know if Tremaine is going to be healthy enough to play. I don't know. So there's still some injuries on defense that the offense might be able to do their thing. I don't know. So that's what I'm saying. I'm the guy that comes into these games like, look, we already overlooked the Jets that we were supposed to blast.
No, did you see our game against the Jets?
Touche.
That was the most pathetic thing I've ever seen in my life.
But offensively, you guys are, like I said, you have something there.
Yeah, the offense is fun to watch sometimes. I think our fans get a little mad. They're not gonna be as mad this week because I guess we're only gonna have to run the ball. They get mad that they don't run Nick Chubb over 25 times a game, and I'm like, you can't do that, guys. You really can't. Yeah. You're not gonna get anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, you do that every week, and then you're going to get an injured running back like Tennessee last year. It's like you just run these guys into the ground, and then all of a sudden, come to playoffs, you don't have. Well, not being funny. I don't think this year's year for playoffs.
Clearly, there's Browns fans today tweeting about, well, if this and this happens, playoffs. I'm like, stop it. Please stop it. You guys are stressing me out.
Yeah, playoffs ain't happening.
Right, but no, you guys should literally. I said you can't run the ball that many times. Against the Browns, yes, you can.
So aside from what we just talked about, so now if you're the Browns head coach and you're coming into this game, what's the game plan? What are you telling your team? This is what we have to do to go into Orchard Park and to beat these Bills.
Do not fumble. Do not let them run a million times. And guess what? Both are going to happen, so it doesn't matter. I'm sorry. I have nothing. I'm going all in on them because they make me so mad every single year.
Your faith is gone, huh?
I don't even know if I've ever had it.
Well, let me ask you this then. Look into the future in a bit. We can get back to this game, but I know. So for me, this is a tough conversation to have for several reasons, and I'm sure for you is even more disgusting at points to have. But Deshaun Watson is back in the building now. He can practice and or at least study with the team.
He's taking all the first team reps right now. So they're basically giving up these two games, it seems like. Not like I don't think we ever had a chance against the Bills or Tom Brady. But yeah.
Well, I don't know. After seeing what I saw with Tom Brady this past Sunday, I know they came.
Man, that was funny.
First of all, why did they even run that play with him? That was the funniest thing I've seen in a long time. And he tripped him. But how do you feel, and how's the fan base view on Deshaun Watson being back? And are they excited? Is there excitement amongst the fan base?
There's people, obviously there's fans that are excited. There's fans that have been excited this whole time. Then there's fans that are like, well, screw this team. I already hate you anyway, so I'm going to hate you even more. Yeah.
Well, how do you personally feel about the whole situation? Because I know
the day he comes back, I'm going to the Bengals-Chiefs game, and I'm not watching.
Okay.
So.
I respect it. I respect it.
I don't want to watch. I don't want to talk. I don't want to I don't even want to see it because it disgusts me that they're playing the Texans. The first game back, you couldn't have picked a different game.
That's gonna be ugly. That the whole, just everything around it, the storyline, and that's probably gonna be the most watched game that week, even though it's not two of the best teams, but it's gonna be one of the games that everybody wants to watch.
And it sucks because there's people on the team that I want to see succeed, But at what cost does that leave people? There's so many good guys on there. There's so many guys like Nick Chubb. I want him to be out there. I want him to be the best running back in the league. But then you have that, and I'm like, it's just
I want Amari Cooper to eat, but I hate that he has to eat. I hate that he has to be fed.
And he's doing so well, He
is. He's actually consistent in my fantasy league. But even outside of that, I liked Amari Cooper.
Yeah,
when he was in Dallas,
Amari seems like a great guy. And
what's it?
All the players on the team, they're probably excited for him to be there.
You think?
Oh, 100%. I think you put Deshaun Watson, this is how I think it is for them. You put him on any team, and the players are excited for him to be there because he wins football games. Well, not really wins, but he's really good. And I feel like I don't know. I just feel like all the guys feel like they've been in similar situations where people have tried to like use them for things. So they just like rally around him and like, I don't know. It's just weird.
Well, Sarah, what are your thoughts on the whole
mean,
Watson returning, or just really anything on Watson at this point?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've been way vocal, probably more vocal than I should have been throughout the off season. I was a Watson fan. I was a huge Watson fan.
I was too, way before, yeah.
Yeah, and the more, and I'll be honest, when the information first came out, I was just like, one or two people, it probably could be a scam. And I felt bad. The more people that came forward, I started feeling bad for the first people that came forward, because I doubted it. And, it's not the worst thing someone can do. I mean, we've seen some pretty terrible things that some of these players have done. But I wish
he get to play, yeah.
Yeah, I wish he would have been suspended for the year, though. I feel like it's brought too much attention to the season. I wish it would have taken place last year, so we could have gotten it over and done with. A lot of people are like, "Well, he paid his dues. He sat out last year." Well, they sat out because the Texans didn't want to deal with any of it. So I just honestly think that it would have been better if he, was suspended the whole year. My biggest thing is I hate what the Browns did, giving him a guaranteed, contract. I feel like they rewarded him for bad behavior and getting traded. Like, that's, part of me is like, he wanted out of Houston. He got out of Houston. Now he has this big, huge, guaranteed contract. He, still makes all of his money of that, contract. And all he had to pay was a $5 million, fine, and then sit out 11 games. So it kind of irks me how everything played out. And that's kind of where I lost the, respect, I guess I had. If I had, any, I did have some, I will say, for the Browns. I kind of lost that respect. And now, I'll be honest, I actually rooted for the Patriots over the Browns, because I'm like, I just don't want the Browns to win right now. And it's hard for me to say that, but I just don't want them to succeed this year. Next year is another year. Well, we can kind of, put our gloves on and start duking it out again. But I don't want them to have success. And, I'm glad it went up to 11 games, because now I'm like doing the math in my head and I'm like, okay, even if they win out, when he comes back, is there a potential that they could still go to the playoffs? So I'm a little salty, and I guess it shows.
The desperation.
The season was over the season was already over. As soon as they said 11 games, I'm like, yeah, pack it up, boys and girls. They're done. Like, you're not getting anything.
When the desperation to sign him to that contract, now it almost makes it like, because no other team is wanting to give out that type of money to any player. And obviously, if you're going to say that anybody in the position deserves one right now, it's probably Lamar Jackson. And it seems like the Ravens are like, we're not going to give you a fully guaranteed contract. And it's like, this should be flipped. Like, it should be where Lamar has his contract, and then it's like with Watson, like, no, dude, you got to come back and prove that you got your mind right enough to play the game again, and you got to be a decent human being. But is that the feeling around Cleveland, that it was like a desperation thing to get? Because I know it was like, which is weird to me too, there was like a bidding war for this dude. So
so that's like the worst part about it, is that there were so many teams going to do that, like 12, which is disgusting in its own. But like, it just makes it so much worse that it's Cleveland.
It was like half the amount of women that accused him. Like, that's how many.
Like, it's so bad. It's literally so bad. Yeah, I don't know. It's just never ending here,
Yeah. Okay, we can move on from this, because like I said, it's always a heavy topic, and I don't quite want to talk about it, but it's obvious, like, okay, Cleveland is coming up.
Yeah, I think I manifested him onto my football team, and that's the part that I hate the most. Like, I swear.
And how did you do that?
Because I, like you said, like I was a big Deshaun Watson fan. Like, I thought he was awesome when he was with the Texans. So like, he's so good. I want him on my football team. When Odell tore his ACL against the Bengals, they said Odell will not return. My reply was, trade for Deshaun Watson. Like, I had so many tweets that year saying, trade for Deshaun, trade for Deshaun, trade for Deshaun. And now I'm like, why the F would I ever put that out there?
They listen to you.
So bad. Yeah. At the wrong time.
They definitely.
Oh, man.
Wow. Okay. Well, let's get back to this game, and let's talk a little bit about. So we both mentioned fumbles or turnovers when it comes down to it. I know how much respect and admiration that you have for our quarterback. what the hell is happening to Josh? Like the last 3 games now, he has at least 2 turnovers in each game. This last game was probably the worst when you look at the situation, like the fumble in the end zone at the end of regulation, the interception in overtime. It just looks costly, like horrible turnovers. What do you think? And I thought it was the elbow at first. He didn't look injured to me. Like his elbow didn't seem to be a problem. What do you think is happening to Josh? And then Sarah, you can follow up with the answer to that too.
Yeah, I don't think it's the elbow either. I think he's thinking about the elbow. And once you start thinking about it, it makes you probably compensate in some way and not do the things that you're used to doing. And you're probably scared for that to happen again. But I don't know. It's just like the decision-making is not very good. Just take it back a little bit because we all know that he's a great quarterback.
Yeah.
At least top 3 all the time. I would say right now he's maybe like 3rd best in the league because he's been up and down a little. But man, I don't know. I think it may be a confidence thing. I don't know. That's just you beat the Chiefs.
We did.
And now,
but
yeah.
It's like we beat the Chiefs, but it's like my concern is I don't think the players feel this way, but I know like the fan base, you know, a lot of people are arguing about like, well, damn, was that like our Super Bowl? You know, like because that's what it seems like now, and it's like
I don't think
we showed
so.
up for that. Well, you got to from a standpoint when you look at the team emotionally, now it just doesn't seem like they're showing up for the games that they need to be showing up for. So it's like, did we work ourselves up for this juggernaut matchup between the Bills and the Chiefs, and then we win and we gave everything we had, and now it's like, okay, we got it now, we them boys, and then you fall to the Jets, who everybody, and I still say they beat us, so I'm gonna respect them and say like they beat us, they're ahead of us in the division right now, so they beat us.
Yeah,
we're better than the Jets. Like we're better
100%.
than Miami. Miami is good as well. I think Tua is having an MVP type season. His receivers are amazing.
There we go.
So again, so it's like I respect these guys, I respect these teams, but we're better than them. And it's like now, for the moment, we're looking up at them in the division, and I don't like that. Like I don't like that at all.
Well, this is how I feel like it's going to play out, and this is my outside perspective, and this is maybe me being a little biased, but you guys are going to win the division. Screw the Dolphins. Jets frauds, Patriots frauds. I don't know why the Jets and Patriots are like saying that they have a chance to even do this. No. Not going to happen. Not happening. You got to lose some games along the way because if you win every single game, it's way more pressure. It's like the Eagles. Like, there's no way that they were going to go undefeated. They needed to lose at least one game before making it to the playoffs.
Well, yeah,
I think it's going to be fine. Yeah, I think it's going to be fine. You're always going to lose some games, some crazy games, and then you'll be good.
I think Bills fans, and Sarah, I'm sure you can attest to this. I think for Bills fans, the problem is that we lost 2 games in the division.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what puts us, it put us all into a worry to begin with. And then to lose this game. And both of those games that we lost to the division, we shouldn't have lost either of them. We did, but we shouldn't have. And, to go into games and feel like you're dominating and then to lose the game, towards the end, it's kind of deflating, and I think that's where we're at right now with Josh. I think Josh is putting too much on his shoulders, and he's forcing too much. I think that he feels like he needs to do all the these crazy things, and when he does all these crazy things, sometimes it just doesn't work the way we want it to work out. There was a couple of passes yesterday that to be honest, he was bailed out. Stephon had a really great catch. McKenzie had 2, which surprised the heck out of me. But it was, if it wasn't for some of those catches, then it could have even been, it could have been worse. But I think Josh is just forcing it a little bit too much, and I think that he had a really good game. Honestly, he had a really good game up until the second half. And to have, 2 interceptions and a fumble, in basically, a quarter when you add it all up, well, quarter and a half when you add it all up, it's, I don't want to say it's uncharacteristic of him because it's starting to be characteristic of him. So I think he just needs to kind of settle it down. And I think him and Dorsey need to get on the same page because I feel like in the beginning of the season, it was a lot of like short and intermediate passes. And then, all of a sudden, Gabe Davis runs wild and, he had that 170-yard game. And now I feel like everything's downfield, and it's not working the same way. I think that we need to go back to the short passes, and it was working really well the first, 6 weeks of the season. So I think if we kind of backtrack and him and Dorsey get on the same page, I think that Dorsey might be changing things up a little bit. I don't think that, by some of the conversations that you hear with the media and stuff, I think that there's, a little bit of arguments of what we've been calling here and there. So
because I agree with you. I do think things were switched up. Remember the first 4 games of the season, it seemed like they were using Diggs for the short over the middle type passes, like 4-yard receptions that turn into 8-yard gains or 6-yard receptions that turn into a first down. And I feel like they kind of got away from that. Now, again, you mentioned that catch. Did you see my dog? Did you see him reach, Gabb? Did you see him reach up to the heavens and grab manna from heaven on that play? That boy reached up. I probably strained my back just trying it just then. Dog, did you see my boy Steph, Gabb? Like, woo.
It's like the craziest part about it. Like, that was the catch of the year, okay? Like, the catch of the year. Okay. That was the catch of the year until we saw the best catch in NFL history. I'm like, you can't be for real. I was like, so crazy.
Yeah. Oh, before you came on, Gabb, I said the same thing. I'm like, it's sad that catch will not even be remembered because of JJ's catch afterwards.
Man, that was wild. Also, I feel like I have another thing that people aren't like realizing when you're talking about like Josh Allen, even like Jalen Hurts. You're gonna see it with Lamar. You're gonna see it with Justin Herbert. You're gonna see it with Patrick Mahomes. These quarterbacks are like they make electric plays. They're not gonna do little Tom Brady 15-yard pass to get it down the field. They're gonna throw the ball far and they're gonna run. And when you do that, you're gonna turn it over sometimes. And I think that's the way the league is moving to. I mean, we would all love if the quarterbacks didn't turn it over if there are quarterbacks. But I feel like that's how a lot of quarterbacks are playing.
Yeah, so. They were talking about that this morning on ESPN, that it's kind of, debating back and forth about Josh, but that's what it is. Once you have an explosive player like that, they're going to make mistakes here and there. Mm-hmm. You got to take some of the bad with the good. But unfortunately, it's just at the wrong time.
See, I agree to an extent. Like, I'm okay with the interception in the end zone where they went for it on fourth and whatever. I'm not okay with the play call. Well, no, I'm not okay with the play call. Okay. What I'm saying is, once you hike the ball and you're committed to the play, okay, give somebody a chance because you're either going to turn it over on downs, score a touchdown, or turn it over, whatever. So I'm okay with him saying, look, I'm going to fling this thing out there and get it in there. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm not okay with the play call, but then I'm also not okay. I'm not okay with the play call on our own goal line to a quarterback sneak. But again, the thing about Josh is he was playing before he got the ball. Like if you watch the replay, he's literally like you could tell he was already in go mode before the ball was like in his hands, which is why I think he fumbled. And it's just it's so frustrating. Because I know you mentioned Mahomes, Gabb. I think Mahomes is just as exciting. He doesn't run like Josh or as much as Josh, but he protects the ball a whole lot more, especially with Tyreek Hill not there. He's not throwing the ball down the field like he used to. So I don't know.
He's still giving up some though. He's giving up a few.
Not like that. He's not leading the league in interceptions.
Well, he was last year.
Yes, he was last year.
He doesn't have Tyreek Hill. I think if you look at the way his game is now, he's still good. But he's winning.
He's had to settle down a little bit. So that's what has to happen with Josh. He needs to settle down a little bit and stop going for the home run all the time. But I mean, I'm gonna go back to those play calls. 2nd and 2. Like, come on. 2nd and 2, 3rd and 2, 4th and 2, and we pass. I literally hope that at the end McDermott and Dorsey had the biggest conversation ever, because we ran the ball effectively for almost 2.5 quarters. Why would you not at least trust Josh to get those 2 yards? Why throw 3 consecutive downs?
Man, they let Jacoby Brissett do that. They might as well Josh Allen.
And my thing is, we've seen it work where they give the ball to Josh and because I've been mad at times where it's like 3rd and 4 and they do a quarterback sweep to the outside, but they have they have 4 guys blocking for him. Why couldn't you do that on 2nd and 2? Then, okay, we don't get it, 3rd and 2. Or how about this? In the first half, freaking Isaiah McKenzie, see, somebody in the comments said him, not Isaiah, Singletary had 2 rushing touchdowns, and when they were giving him the ball in the first half, he looked like a freaking beast. Like, what are we doing?
And then all of a sudden we stopped. It was like the weirdest thing. Like, why did we? I mean, I know he had a couple where he was kind of stopped, for no gain or for, a negative yard here and there. But the second you get scared and you go away from it, then they know that you're not going to run the ball anymore. It was just crazy for me that, we were doing so well and then we just stopped. Everything that was working, we stopped. And I mean, Josh could have picked up those 2 yards with his legs. And that's what kills me. And the whole game would have been over.
Imagine if you guys had no offense to your running backs, but like a running back, like a real running back. That would be insane. That'd be.
Well, you know what? Because I know you got to get on out of here soon. You have another show you're doing, but we were linked to a Kareem Hunt trade.
I was saying that'd be not for myself, but like for you guys, that'd be sick. He's not like the best running back in the league, but he's better than what you have.
Well, so my question is like, not even a question, because I mean, you just said it. Like, could you imagine if, he's not Derrick Henry, he's not whatever, but he's a very good running back.
Yeah.
And if we had a guy that was that, I just think he's electric when he does get his opportunities and he has a chance to kind of get into a rhythm. He does some things that, I mean, every team doesn't have one. If so, the Bills wouldn't be talking about it. So, was there and is there like a imbalance there too? Because I do feel like you should have a 2-headed monster. And I feel like a couple years ago, like, there was a 2-headed monster, but now it just seems like it's a Chubb type off. That probably sounds bad the way I said it. It's Chubb's offense. And then Kareem Hunt, he gets in where he fits in, as opposed to it being like a 2-headed monster back there. What's the difference this year with your run offense?
I feel like you just know the Browns are going to run the ball. They're going to freaking stack it in. You can't really run like that, which we've seen the last couple of weeks. Everyone's like, well, why aren't they running that much? They are. They're just not getting to where they used to be because they know that we're not going to throw that much. So that's probably the issue. And I think the issue is like Kareem wanted to leave because he wants to be the number 1 guy. I think he wants to get paid a lot of money, but that's not going to happen either. You're 28 years old on a second team, on a second chance.
Yep.
You're not going to get that kind of money. You're going to get some money, but you're not going to get what you think you're going to get. Yeah. So I think that has a lot to do with it too.
And 28's kind of that shelf right now.
Like you are an old man.
Yep.
Yeah, for running back.
You're about to go out there with a walker at this point. You're 28 years old as a running back.
I mean, his I guess benefit is he has been, only getting 30 or 40% of, the snaps on offense. So he hasn't been used as much. So, he might really realistically only be like, say, 26 on the field type thing. So I think that he probably still has a couple of good years left. But if he thinks he's going to get paid after what he hasn't really been doing much with Cleveland this year. So I don't think, I think he's had 1 or 2 breakout games and then that's about it. Chubb has, pretty much carried the team when it comes to running, running the ball. So
and like, why wouldn't they,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I don't think he's going to get what he thinks he's going to get.
He can help a lot of teams for sure, but it's just not going to be. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, and that was my argument against trading for him was, unless we're just using it for rental for the rest of the year. Right, I didn't think
his contract's up anyways.
His contract's up. I didn't think that we would, be willing to pay him what he would want, and he was already, at the beginning of the year, he was already, trying to get more money.
I could see him going to the Dolphins.
I could absolutely see that. And I think the problem with the way the trade didn't happen, I think it came down to what the Browns were asking for him. I think the inquiry was real. Like, I know a lot of people think that, but I just think the Browns wanted a little bit more compensation than the Bills were willing to give for a rental.
Yeah, because why would the Browns want to give Kareem to someone like that they would be playing?
Right.
And I get that because Kareem would have probably ran for, 200,
especially on this defense.
Yeah,
man.
he would have ran for 200 this weekend. So, well, Gabb, like I said, I know you got to get on out of here. So before I do, let me get a prediction for the score for the game. Then plug your shows and plug any content you got coming up this week, and then we'll get on out of here.
Man, I can't even give you a prediction. Maybe like it's going to be an ugly game. I don't know if anyone's going to have that much fun. And the Bills will win, and it'll be like 17 to like 6.
Oh my God, that was my prediction. and the 6 was because they scored a touchdown, but they don't get the extra point.
They missed.
That's great.
That's my prediction. Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll go ahead. I think I'm agreeing with you, but I do actually. I think both teams score a little bit more than that. I do. I think the Bills score like 23 points. I think this is one of those games where Josh does have like 85 yards rushing, a touchdown on the ground. Singletary ends up with the touchdown. This is the game that Hines actually gets a touchdown, and Bills fans is like, oh, this is why we traded for this dude. And then on the other side, I think this is a game where Kareem Hunt finally is like, see, I'm still here, guys.
I think Kareem's scoring. That's my prediction. Yeah.
And I think Chubb is, I mean, he's going to get his every game. So so I just think it's going to be like one of those like 23, like to 13 or 12, I think it's going to be one of those games, but no, I agree with everybody. Like, it's not going to be, coming to the season, everybody looked at the Browns game and was like, oh, we going to blow them out. Nah, not with this weather, man. It ain't happening.
I have a question. Are we even going to be able to see the game? Like, actually, like, see it?
I will from the TV.
But are you gonna be able to though? It's gonna be a snowstorm.
It was. You know what? I'm hoping it's not gonna be like it was for that Colts game, because like you couldn't see the lines on the field, like you couldn't see anything, and it just made for an ugly. I get it. Some fans like to watch it around the country, and people who've never experienced snow.
Guess what?
I don't like it.
Snow sucks, and it ruins everything.
It sucks.
That's why I left.
So, Gabb, go ahead and shout everything out that you got going on this week, your show, your wonderful co-host, and any other content you got going on.
Well, we just had our show before this. It's Unsportsmanlike Conduct. It's on FanDuel's Twitch and YouTube. It's live Tuesdays, 7 p.m. Eastern. You can come by. It's fun. We literally talk shit for an hour. And then I'm not going. I just really don't think I will be at this football game. I will be watching this football game, and I'll be talking about it. And then you guys can find me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at Gabb Goudy, GABBGOUDY. And it'll be a fun one, I guess. All
right. So Sarah, you want to plug you got a show.
I do.
That thing.
I am 1/3 of the 3-Man Rush with Jerry O and Cole on Thursdays at 9 p.m. Check us out. We talk college. We talk the Bills, of course, and show some love. Come check us out.
All right. And ladies and gentlemen, y'all know how I do it over here. It's your boy, Jay Spence the King, representing Buffalo Rumblings, Vidcast, and Podcast Network. Y'all love each other. Take care of each other and live in peace. And as always, stay positive, test negative, go Bills.
Code of conduct.